Mastering Sales with Brent Gove. It's so good to have you here. Today, I have a couple wonderful guest speakers. I have Shelly Johnson from Charlotte, North Carolina, who now lives in Puerto Rico and bought a ranch in Montana on 20 acres. It is beautiful. I have seen it. It is gorgeous. But hey, so Shelly, are you on here? I'm looking. There she is. Gotta unmute yourself. Yep. Hey, Shelly, how you doing?
Hi,
Good to see you.
good to
And
see you.
Terry Diaz is going to speak after Shelley. Both these ladies are killing it. So I asked Shelley, who has always sold homes like it's cotton candy at a ballpark. She's very successful. She'll, she's done hundreds of millions of dollars worth of sales. She's also my neighbor in Puerto Rico. And I could proudly say I've borrowed more peanut butter and jelly and paper towels and light bulbs and WD-40 and scissors or whatever it is I'm out of paper for the printer from her. She's a great neighbor. She's like the handiest person, her and her husband, Kevin. All right. So Shelly, I asked you to share with everyone, how do they make more sales? So Shelly, the floor is yours.
So I was thinking about this, and I will tell you, I think right now it's really important for you guys to make relationships with divorce attorneys and estate attorneys. And the reason I say that is because a lot of us are planning. I have my family members, myself, who are going through, selling their home to downsize. And there's a lot of planning going on right now with the stock market changes and everything. So people are reallocating their money. And I think it's a really good person for you to be in a relationship with. And I wouldn't do just one. I would pick like 3 to 4 in your market, because you don't know like how close you can get in a relationship with them. And how do you do that? So you want to make sure you call them, get an appointment with them. Financial planners are great too. But I will tell you, if you do this, I promise you'll get sales from it. The other thing I would do is go to a 55 and older community, and I would become super good friends with the sales rep there if it's being built out, because they're going to have homes to sell, and they're looking for someone that's going to get the job done. So just to show up with value to these people and not just looking like, hey, would you just send me your referrals? No, learn about that group of people and what their needs are. So educate yourself, so that way you come with some knowledge. And that's one of the things I would do. I love being able to network, and that's one thing I would definitely do. The other thing I would do is
Either
make
real quick, I want to drill down. When you
sure.
said they're looking for somebody to get the job done at a 55 and older community or any subdivision, what
Yep.
it is, they have people who buy, but we have a home to sell. So
Right.
they constantly know who needs an agent. Movers too, local movers, get to know them, buy them steak dinners, take them to talk golf, spoil them, bring them their favorite whatever treat. And because these people will refer you like crazy, but they need people who can get the job done. What does that mean? I know what it means, but explain to them like why that's so important to that
So
55 and older or any subdivision agent.
because that special, it's a group of people sometimes that have been in their house for 10, 20, 30 years, and they need someone that can kind of walk them through the process with stagers and helping them get everything prepared. And also they have to have someone that can talk to those individuals, because it's a different mindset. It could be like a father daughter working together. It's usually multiple family members involved, and you need to make sure you're talking to the person who can be decision maker, and make sure that so everybody is working cohesively to get the job done, meaning like they tell you exactly and they trust you, because there's a lot of trust that goes into that, and being able to be able to ask the right questions to drill down and be able to really help them. So being more than just this order taker, you really have to be a little bit more of a professional and show up in a way that's like, hey, this is the group of people I like to serve. This is why I do it. There'll be something in your heart. Like for me, it's really easy because I went through this with my grandmother, my mom, and my father, where we've had to look at their estate, try to figure out how we're going to help them. Sometimes people get sick really quickly and they need that money very fast. And you need to help them be able to get that done quickly, so they can go into not just retirement homes, but also, the facilities, the nursing home facilities. So they need that money allocation quickly, because those run 8 to 10 to $12,000 per month. So just something to really be thinking about. And right now we have an age group that's going in that direction. So I think that would be a really smart and wise place to put some energy.
Now, you didn't quite give me the answer I was looking for, so I'm going to dig
Sorry.
more. Again, you
Okay.
said they need someone who can get the job done. Because if they refer an agent and they don't sell the house, what's not going to happen if their home doesn't sell? Are they going to be able to buy in that subdivision?
No.
No. So they want confidence that you are going to get results because then they get paid and
Mhm.
then fill out the subdivision. So she went into what you got to be to get the job, which is great. It was great. But I was kind of going a step further because if you fail, they don't get paid. It's like when
Right.
you refer someone, do you give anybody referral or do you want to refer someone a listing or buyer? You know, man, she's gonna get it done and I'm gonna earn my 25%. And of course, you want the best referral for the client, but there's two things there. Great referral for a client should be number one thing. Great agent for the client. Number two, you get paid your 25% referral fee. So good job,
Right.
Shelly.
And
I got time for 2 more minutes of info. So what else you got
okay.
for us?
The other thing is, you have to be super, super determined right now, and you have to call more people. My nephew told me two stories this week. He is calling expireds. He got 3 listings on Friday, and he made one phone call yesterday. He was mad because he didn't get to make his calls because he had to go to work. And he literally said, I made one phone call and I've got a listing. I already had he says, I was at their house in an hour. So he got on the phone. You got to get on the phones. If you want to sell a house right now and you need money in your account right now, you have to get on like Vulcan 7 or some kind of platform, and also get on YouTube and watch the people. Like if that's what you're going to make your deal, you got to find your thing that is going to get you deals. And if you don't, you're going to be out of business. And that's the reality of it. So, I mean, he is all in. He did 4 open houses this weekend, went on 3 listing appointments because of calling expireds, got another one yesterday. What was yesterday? Monday afternoon. So, it's like, and you have to have this weird optimism that is like, it's all going to work out. And you have to have this like insane optimism about it. Like, it doesn't matter that he doesn't have the listing yet. It's the matter that he has all this momentum. And then once you get that, you have to like just keep piling on more and more momentum. So determination is critical right now. And then also, the other thing I will tell you is if you also want to get business right now, is on Friday, don't wait 2 weeks, 3 weeks down the road, go do an event. And when I say an event could be anything. Call 5 of your sphere and invite them out for this Friday to meet you for happy hour at 2 o'clock at whatever little pub or Mexican restaurant or whatever and say, hey, I'm buying margaritas. I just want to celebrate. I love our friendship. Let's get together. If you don't have the money to do it, call your lender and say, lender, hey, I'm doing an event on Friday and I need $100 because I need a little bit of extra cash. Throw out some hors d'oeuvres, buy everyone their first drink. And then you don't have to be the cash bar, but just make it do that, because the more people you connect with, I promise you're going to sell more houses. So those are my 3 things. Do an event and don't wait like, oh, I got to plan it in a month. Well, guess what? In a month, you're at this another 90 days or 60 or 30 days to get a closing. You want to sell something right now. And right now people are talking. So if you want to invite 5 people, great. If you invite 10, 15, 20, my dad always had the rule of 50% of the people are going to come that you invite. So if you invite 10, you're like, oh my gosh, I don't invite 10. Guess what? If all 10 show up, great. But if they don't worry about it. If you invite 30 and 10 show up or 7 show up, that's what was meant to be for you for that day. So I encourage you to just get in front of more people, and whatever that takes. I know like we're all sitting at our desks. Let's not be at our desks. Let's go out and like make this a contact sport and crush it.
That's so good, Shelly. Thank you so much. A couple things I want to share off what she said. It is not magic, it's motion. Get your
Mhm.
humilities in motion. Her nephew, remember she told you the story of how she had to deal with her grandma, her mom, her family members. She's connecting the story of nephew connecting. By the way, the nephew's going to take away your excuses. He's right out of the Marines. He looks like a young man right out of the Marines. He's a good kid. How old is he, Shelly?
24.
24. He started calling me experts, knows nothing about real estate,
Nothing.
zero experience. But the difference between him and you, his name is Hunter. Hunter was hunting and he was calling me expireds. They don't know Hunter hasn't been doing it for 30 years, 20 years. He was polite, respectful, got 4 listing appointments. The difference between Hunter and you was action. You must take immediate action. Stop thinking. That's what Tony Robbins says. If you're in your head, you're dead. Stop thinking, do this. You must act. You must act. And
Mhm.
so she kept telling stories and stories of how she'd meet with people. And you could go, hey, I know this great place. Let's meet for tea. It's a great tea shop. Doesn't have to
Yeah,
be around alcohol or anything.
right.
So there's lots of ways. I know there's a great, what's the big thing? Gluten-free bakery. Let's all go on buying gluten-free bakery items and coffee. So, don't get all worked up because she said she's buying margaritas, but I would show up and have a margarita with you. Okay, next, Tara. Thank you, Shelly. You did a great job. Next, Tara Diaz. She sold almost 40 homes in the past 12 months. She's a rock star. Absolutely love and respect her. Her and her husband run two businesses in Albuquerque, New Mexico. One is a Mexican, I think, no, sushi. It's a sushi restaurant, and he's a elite level sushi chef. Go see their sushi restaurant if you're in Albuquerque. Tara, welcome to the Zoom. You're always here. It's great to see you. By the way, what's the name of your husband's sushi restaurant in Albuquerque? Shameless plug, but I'm doing it.
Diaz Kitchen and Sushi Bar.
Say it one more time.
Diaz Kitchen and Sushi Bar.
Diaz Kitchen and Sushi Bar. Go see him in Albuquerque. So, as a rock star and a leader, what I asked her, what one thing could you tell people is at the core of selling almost 40 homes last year? Because trust me, anyone knocking down 40 deals a year, they're making 300,000-400,000 a year in most markets. Of course, some markets that would be almost $1 million a year. Other markets depends upon the sales price. But what I asked her what the one thing you would attribute to, and she had an answer. So, Tara, tell them what it is.
Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Um, Consistency and client love. So I have a client love ambassador. She's my virtual assistant, and this is something I've done prior to having her. But build your database. So I have my SOI, and every year I
What's
send my clients their birthday cards.
what's an SOI? They may not know what that
My
means.
my sphere of influence. So from the moment that I started selling houses, it took me about 2 years to start creating it. But every time I get a client, I put them in my spreadsheet, and I create a Google Doc spreadsheet so that way I can utilize it to do mailers or um, print labels or whatever it is that I'm going to do. But everything's housed in my database, and I do their birthday cards, I do home anniversary cards, I invite them to client parties, so we do events. Touch base with them, check on them, make sure, see if they have anything they want to do their house, if they have any updates they want to do. We also have a flip business. So we did 40 homes last year, but we also flipped 10 homes last year. But and my husband runs a restaurant. But consistency is key. I mean, it's just staying on top of your people, and the more you love on them, the more they'll refer you and use you over and over again.
I love it. So, real quick, I want to open it up for questions for Shelly or Tara. Go to your phone, bring up the bottom. It says reactions. Hit that, boom, and then hit raise hand, and you'll see it'll add a high five and move you right to the top hand left. If you have a question for Tara or Shelly, we got a couple minutes left to ask questions. Anybody have a question you want to know about the SOI? It's different than SOL, you know? It's, what is it you want to learn about?
Brent, you're muted. Brent, you muted yourself. Brent, Brent, you're muted.
Maybe he lost his sound.
There you go. You're
Okay.
now.
So, anybody have a question? Do you remember what Shelley talked about? That's why you got to take notes. Somebody going, what did Shelley talk about? And you remember what Shelley talked about. You got to write down what you hear. So that she talked about
I
Hunter.
want to know. I want to know how many people are going to actually do an event. Like, who's going to do something with that? Like right away. Anybody? Darren,
Put in the chat. Type in the
Linda.
chat. I'll do an event. I'm going to
What are
do
you,
a
what are you guys going to
wine
do? Tell us what you're doing.
in the chat. Let's open the chat up because
I've
you
got an
guys.
event going on this Friday I'm just setting it up. I just organized it with some title agents to do an event. So I'm just in the process of getting some people there. It's my first one. Got quite a few people I've been talking to, and a lot of them live near me. So we're going to get together in 2 different places and do some events.
Yep. People are just looking for an invitation. Good for you, Linda. Coach Bill Rapp has his hand up. Bill, you will be our last speaker today because we're out of time. We got about a minute or two for you. Go for it.
Shelley, really appreciated you sharing the relationship side of building these relationships. Just wondering if you can touch a little bit more on that. Why, like a financial planner or an attorney, how does that work as far as being able to plow in and get more clients through those guys?
So what I found was when I worked with my financial planner or an attorney, they are always looking for, they don't know they're looking for you, but sometimes you can actually save them time and energy with their clients because they become, a lot of times there's multiple family members involved, and you can help save them time, and you can kind of be like the in-between to help them be able to get their client to where their goal is, which is, whether if it's financial planner, free up their assets to be able to put their money in financing, or they just want a really good resource so that they are also a connector. And when their client's happy that they connected them with you, then they're happy, so it's a win-win. But also you can also, like, I have a lady that's selling a waterfront house, and she has Parkinson's, very similar to my father. And my financial planner referred her to us, and he knew that I could empathize with her situation because of course she's lived there for 25 years. She doesn't want to sell that house. Her kids are like, one wants to sell it, one doesn't. So then it became like we got everybody involved, and then everybody was able to make a better decision. And it doesn't become about like pitting people against each other. They really need us. And these families going through these situations, like my dad, I needed to free up his assets so he could get closer to me to be cared for. And he was able to buy a house. So like Lee Tessier in Maryland sold his house, and I was helping him on this end, and with a 55 and older community. So it's like I just know intimately that that's a need. And if you can position yourself as the authority on it, you will get deals from it. And it's it's very fulfilling too, because you're helping families with those hard decisions. Sometimes it's not the right decision, but in all the cases I've seen so far, it has been.
I love it.
Yeah,
Go
that's
ahead.
awesome.
We can something, Bill.
I was just gonna ask, do you see it being important maybe for us to bring clients to them as well, so it kind of opens up that door
Yeah,
for them?
I do that constantly. Yeah, that's a really great question, Bill. Absolutely. I refer clients to him all the time of like, hey, he's my financial planner. You should use them. Absolutely. That's like my favorite thing to do is refer. And then also you just build that friendship, because like you heard what Brent said, go play top golf, go, like his wife and I are friends, we're and she actually is a financial planner now too. So she's actually the one that does all the referring now. But be friends with these people because they want to know you on a personal level. They need to know that you're going to carry their client across the threshold of whatever their goals are. And it feels really good when you're successful together. So people like to run with successful people. They want to know that you're going to, like what Brent said, get the job done. They want to know that their client's being cared for, and they want to know that they're being cared for the way they care for them. So it's one of those things. One other really quick thing I'll share with you guys. Recently, I thought about that is, I never really thought about it before, but you know how when you go to like the chamber meetings and your town meetings, those are super important to attend. And sometimes it doesn't seem like it, but you become an authority and the mayor sees you there. And then the Chamber of Commerce president sees you there. When you go to all those things, you become like your mayor. I've heard people say that before, your town mayor as realtor, but people start to see you as like a professional. And you get to sometimes hear about projects that are happening that you would never meet the owners of those projects. They may be like hundreds of millionaires. They're not like a millionaire or a billionaire, but they're hundreds of millions, right? So one of my best clients, you need to find out who it is you need to know in your community that is that person that you wouldn't see at a chamber event necessarily, because they already are like so far, they run with different people, they think a little different. So you want to start to leveling yourself up constantly on who you're surrounding yourself with is really important, so that you can think a little different and be able to bring more perspective back to other people that you're helping. So always be thinking about who you can surround yourself with.
I love it. Great job, Bill. Great job, Shelley. As we wrap up today, because we are going to run out of time here, I want to recognize some of you. Joanne Pullen is hosting a barbecue. and dog nail trimming this summer. Wow, I never would have thought to do that. That is awesome. Then somebody called me and I lost my screen. Tara is doing hot dogs and burgers. Apparently, she's in a very rough crowd, and so she's had to hire a bouncer to kind of keep order and keep the people out of the club where she's doing it. So that's happening. We got Karen Sweat. She just did a suite for swing basketball. I love it. And then we have Carolyn Chasen. She's next week then 4:30. I'm not sure what that means. And then Shantae Cruz, a monthly breakfast mastermind next week. Love it. Karen Sweet going to Scene Bistro and inviting a handful to 3 of her best clients. Shantae Spring Vendor Fair coming up. David Lawson doing a webinar tomorrow with Debbie DeGroat on where to find hidden listings. What a great topic. And then bouncer for kids. All right. Doug, movie in May. I like it. It's got a golf tournaments. Pamela, thank you, Shelly. Okay. I think if I missed somebody, I'm sorry. Someone's called me like 9 times. My next appointment's been calling me while we're doing this. I keep sending them the voicemail. I love you guys. Have an awesome day. We'll see you right here next week. Same time, same place, same bat channel for you old people. We'll see you then. Have a great day. Bye, everybody.